Hello, everybody. Did full interest. This one is the one.
Yeah.
That was loud. Yeah. So, uh, sorry, I was distracted by the loud. Uh, My Hero Academia, episode 47. I want to say.
All for one.
Yeah.
Did you see the after credit scene?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Um.
Uh,
So yeah. First thing I'm going to note about this episode is there was a lot more build up on a second watch once I realized, oh wait, there was build up in this episode, and I completely forgot about it after the hype started happening. So yeah, that's how that went. So it was
so
fun.
we start with Aizawa in the middle of the press conference,
Yep.
and they're talking about you gave express permission for the students to fight back, and you know Aizawa says this was to avoid a worst case scenario, which is
Yeah.
like 47 victims and a student missing. You don't call that a worst case scenario. He's like, well, the
No,
students could.
we don't.
He says in the sub, like, the students could have died. That's
Yeah.
the worst case scenario.
Yeah. Which I think he does say basically the same thing in English. It surprises me that he didn't just say it as it was. He gave them permission to use the quirks to defend themselves if need be, and that's what he did. But I don't know, maybe they're playing it diplomatic or something. Like that would, I suppose, imply weakness in their ability to defend the students. That they would need to do that, but they kind of have to admit that it's a complicated situation.
The wording is I don't know how the wording is in the dub. It made sense to me in the sub.
So
Uh,
interesting that the reporter is playing super hardball with all three of them when they have pretty prominent facial scars earned in the line of duty.
mhm.
Which I wonder whether was no, it probably wasn't calculated. I mean, it's um, the two teachers of the classes that were involved and the principal, which makes sense. But you would think that those very, very visible scars would um, not soften, but maybe put a very okay. This is what we do, so maybe back off a little bit because we protect people for a living and we often get injured or killed in the line of doing so. And
Mhm.
these kids are kind of training to do the same thing. Them getting involved with villains was kind of an inevitability. We wish it wasn't this soon, but they're being assholes more so than usual.
And so the principal, like, what are you doing now? It's like the principal says, we're working with the police. Meanwhile, cut over to,
Oh, your mic is popping something serious.
sorry,
Sorry.
um, cut over to the villain hideout where Bach goes like, "Yep, UA understands. Frickin', I ain't changing for nobody. You can shove your villain crap.
Hmm.
I can probably take 2 or 3 down and escape."
Yeah, I'm just reading my notes. So
And
yeah,
then
for a while.
we cut back over to the Midoriya group, I believe, and
Yeah, and they're just looking at the place, and it looks effectively abandoned. Like there's moss growing in front of the door that hasn't been stepped on at all. Like it
mhm.
hasn't been disturbed, so maybe there's a back entrance. Then they get accosted by some drunks that want to fuck Momo. Admittedly, she doesn't look 15
She doesn't. So it's
at the moment, but
yeah,
she is. So, creepers.
yeah. But they get rid of them and make their way over to the compound itself, the big building, and Kirishima brought this thing that allows them to see with like night vision, and so it's like we're gonna look inside, see what we got, Everybody get on each other's shoulders.
Hmm.
And oh,
Oh,
those are.
also there was a bit where they're shimmying the way down the side, and Momo
Mhm.
says, I might get caught," which is a little odd. I have to assume that that's supposed to be a boob joke because Ida's bigger than her.
It's probably a boob thing.
Yeah, I have to
She's
assume.
worried. She's worried she might get stuck
Hmm.
because like that would just be bad.
Hmm. Yeah.
But
Anyway, yeah. So they get a look in, and it's the Nomu. The Nomu are in there.
well, you did track a Nomu. Hey, look, it's the Nomu factory.
Go figure. That's where that led us to, and definitely not to where Bakugo is. Oops.
They didn't have any way of knowing that.
No, not really.
But then we get over to the heroes, and right, we cut over to them, and they're all
Uh,
planning. And Endeavor is on this. He doesn't like it, but it's like we have to go while the conference is going on because the UA teachers can't be involved in this like explicitly.
hmm.
Because this is all to kind of work like a distraction in. So then they all get into position. Cut back to the inside where Bakugo's about to like face off with Shigaraki, who, by the way, instead of freaking out, and I kind of like this bit of development, instead of freaking out like the small child he is, he picks up his hand and puts it back on his face and just calm. He's an important pawn. It's unfortunate you didn't agree with us there.
Yeah, and then he says, "Hey, father." I think he calls him that openly.
Yeah.
Uh, Let me borrow your power.
He says, "Master,
Oh, right,
um,
okay. Yeah.
Master, I need help." To which you see the all for one face is like, all
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think the implication there is he's like, okay, kid's not cooperating. Let's see us quick.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it sounds like.
That's pretty much what it sounds like. Of like, yeah, yeah. When you have the guy who steals quirks as your master, it's just kind of like, guess we tried.
Your
But
cooperation would be appreciated, but is by no means required, kind of thing.
at this point, there's a knock at the door. Come, no pizza here. And they all look to the door, and then smash.
Yeah, this whole moment was pretty fucking hype. I think I may have heard the dulcet tones of the new Run song in the background of the scene.
That
So,
was it was Jet Set Run that was playing the
was
second
it?
version.
Are you
Yeah.
sure? Oh, okay, I'll take your word for it.
That yeah. So All Might bursts in,
Hmm.
then is followed up by Kamui, who brings the wood and like restrains her one.
I have been waiting for the binding lacquer chain prison since episode and chapter fucking 1. Just to see him do that, and it is everything that I was hoping it would be.
And then frickin' I can't remember his name right now. Dobby tries to do the fire. Gran Torino kicks him in the face, knocks him out. Like, we can't have that.
Yeah, Darby was pretty much the only person that could have actually done something in that situation. Yeah, good tactics. It's taking that guy down first, effectively.
Then a figure slides in through the door, and it's Edge Shot, who then opens the door, and there's a bunch of police officers in SWAT uniforms.
Yeah.
And it's just, and Shigaraki's just like, the last boss just showed up.
We barely even gathered our party, and then the final boss shows up. What is this bullshit?
And right outside, there's more police and Endeavor. So you are thoroughly boned. At this point, he calls out, Kurogiri, bring the Nomu. And then Kurogiri's like,
they're not where they're supposed to be.
Cut over 2 minutes earlier we see our kids, and then see off to the side a foot wearing a truck reach up as Mount Lady just axe kicks the building.
The truck skate was oddly hot. However, it would also, I presume, literally be hot when it explodes on her foot from that smash. But,
They
you
might have
know,
emptied the gas beforehand or something.
maybe. I don't know. I
I don't
hope
know.
so.
I assume being that big, her skin would be noticeably thicker and tougher. So I don't know exactly how much damage it would do.
Even so, on her feet, that's not great.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah,
That's why she's a professional.
yeah, foot skin, very sensitive. So, hmm.
She's
yeah,
wearing a uniform. It's fine.
yeah.
And
So
so
she
she,
stomps her way through the building, and Best Jeanist immediately string
yeah,
thread rather ties up all the nobles.
Tiger finds Ragdoll.
Yeah. Mm,
Yeah, who's not responsive.
mm. And Orca's voice actor is kind of bad
I
in
didn't. I
English.
was watching the sub, so I
Yeah,
didn't notice.
yeah, in English
Um,
it's not very good.
at this point, Edith's like, "Oh, hey, heroes, we can go now. We're
Yeah,
not
pretty
needed
much.
here."
Yeah,
So
even
everyone's
to
like,
the
"Oh,
point where like they've started taking off the disguises. Like
yeah."
Deku lost his fuzz, and Todoroki's taking off the wig.
Like the heroes were ahead of us the whole time. We are really not needed here.
Hmm.
Let's get out.
Yeah,
And
why did we think we were needed here when we clearly saw them, figuring out their plan, and the only reason we're here in the first place is because Momo already had a thing that she already gave to the heroes. We really didn't need to do this at all, did we?
yeah,
Whoops. Oh well.
like at the same time, like they didn't know the heroes would go like the next day like that, like immediately strike back. That caught everyone by surprise. That they could organize that quickly in secret.
Hmm.
Um, so, cut over to back to Shigaraki, who's really upset
Hmm.
and has a flashback with All for One finding him as a child and basically saying, nobody found you, everybody thought that somebody else would save you, but I am here now. And yeah, we see a bit of Shigaraki's backstory.
A very small amount, yes.
Very small amount.
Yeah, it's completely unclear what exactly he Shimura, as his real name is, was going through at the time, but just the context that All for One saved him in some capacity.
Yeah. I also do want to point out that the police found out all the villains' names, their
Yep.
real names.
Yep. Fucking
Just
police just competent, like they actually do things in the
yeah,
show.
it's like the police are like, yeah, no, we have your names, we have your faces. You're done.
Yep.
There's literally nowhere to go.
Yep, it's not even just the police did their jobs, it's the police worked overtime through the night to make sure that this would be pulled off 100% successfully. It's fucking great.
Like they did all the interviews with the students, they got all the information, what they looked like, found like it's. I think it would be pretty easy to find them in a world where there's so many genetic differences that make people stand out or appear unique. So, and especially if they look for like any sort of repeat criminals, like Toga is wanted for a series of crimes of death by blood loss. So like her alone would be pretty easy to figure out. But yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty nice moment.
with all of them cornered, then Shigaraki claims that he hates All Might as a new sort of black thing crystals in the air, and these new Nomus. The Nomus come out.
Yeah, this was very, as a power, it's very novel. It's water porting is what I can only call it. Water teleportation. Or water warping.
So all these Nomus start popping out, and
Mm,
Bakugo disappears right from like All Might's arms.
mm. Yeah, vomits up water and then gets pulled in by it and disappears. And like I say, very novel. That's an interesting power to have.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Go back to go back a few minutes back to the Nomu factory, and you hear a voice from the darkness being like, "Sorry, Tiger, I had to take her power." It was just so interesting.
Hmm.
You
And
know, the
Best Jeanist, no fucking hesitation, snaps him straight into fucking complete
Mount
bindings.
Mount Lei is like, "What if that was a civilian?" And Best Genius is like, "We can't hesitate here."
Look at the situation. We do not give these people an inch.
There's a reason why he's like number three,
I think he's
well,
four.
four, four. He's four. Yeah, he's like one of the top ranked heroes.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, All for One gives no fucks about
And
your strings.
explodes everything. And after credit scene, you see just devastation, like buildings collapsing on each other, just a gigantic crater.
That was a hell of an after credit scene because it genuinely looks like all of the kids are ready to vomit in terror.
Hmm. I think they're mainly holding, like, I think they're holding their breaths so that he doesn't find them
Mm.
too. Like, they're just shaking. I felt myself die. I had a hallucination of myself dying right now.
Mm.
Oh crap! And he's just floating in midair. Like, shall we begin?
Mm.
Like, let's do it.
Good voice actor pick for this guy, by the way. Though
Let's.
I get the feeling he was a very prominent villain in Naruto. I feel like I've heard the voice before, but oh, he's good.
It's like All for One is just like bringing in like his powers just on such another level. It's like you're bringing in a character from a different show.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like, oh hey, we brought in a DBZ character. It's yeah.
Secretly a spin-off from In Another World as Yamcha. Secretly Yamcha. I mean, in this setting, Yamcha would be a badass, but
Yamcha would, but oh, it's
that was a
yeah.
good
He
manga, by
mentions
the way.
that he
Yeah.
All for One did mention earlier, by the way, that he used his stock of built up power like quirks, and has been trying to rebuild it. So he took Ragdoll's thing, which allows you to basically locate and
Anyone?
keep track of about 100 people at a time,
Mm.
and also know their weaknesses, which is really broken.
Mm. So yeah, that's this is a scary dude. This is a good way to introduce a villain and make them feel like an endgame villain
Hmm.
rather than just escalation upon escalation upon escalation, as certain other anime do. This one
Yeah,
shows you the end goal and shows you exactly how far beyond everything it is.
this is the power cap,
Yeah.
which also can I just bring up his theme, which is just like this kind of like operatic, but it's kind of like twisted in a weird way. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem right. It just is kind of eerie.
A lot
I
of
like
clutching
it.
notes. Yeah, it makes sense. Mm.
Like we saw the power cap with All Might before, but now we're seeing it from the other side.
Here's the thing: All Might was never the power cap because
Yeah.
as soon as we found out All for One survived that fight, we
Mm.
found out that okay, All Might was basically destroyed by that fight, though. So,
Yeah, and technically also All for One was. So he's not technically as powerful as he used to be. If you think about it, he used
hmm.
most of his quirks.
Yeah, so I guess on both of their fronts, since that fight, the cap has been lowered somewhat. There's nothing stopping it from rising again, though, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. Especially if the whole premise of the show is go beyond, and Deku is naturally stronger than All Might
Yeah,
because of
that's
the.
that's how the power works. Yeah.
So yeah, All for One is crazy. Just
Mm.
what a cool villain.
Yeah. I
Just
can agree with that.
floating in the air like he's from Bleach or Dragon Ball.
I don't know. With the mask, I'm not sure I would place him in either of those categories. Mm.
I mean, if you're talking about masks, look at Bleach.
Granted. Yeah. Hmm. Maybe Hanzo the Salamander from Naruto before he was chumped, basically. But yeah.
I really like this episode.
Yeah.
This was like they did like 3 chapters with this one,
Hmm.
which I was really hoping they were going to because I wanted to get to this particular part. Yeah, I'm really excited for next episode.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Hmm. Yeah, like I say, first time I watched this, I'd completely forgotten about the 10 to 12 minutes of build up before we got to the awesome stuff that happened.
The hideout raid.
Yeah, that's sure, whatever. Like a chain prison fucking finally happened. I waited so long, and it was still fucking cool.
The heroes are like they're so organized and like working with the police and everything. It's just blam blam blam. Yeah, no, we're not sitting down for this. We're not going to let this happen.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Orca isn't in this show very often, or in the manga.
After this arc, Orca doesn't show up again for a long time.
Yeah, I thought as much. Yeah.
Like a long time.
Yeah. I got the feeling they got a fill-in guy for the voice actor for this one. Yeah.
I love Orca's design. Apparently the dub voice actor is not pretty good, but the sub voice actor was okay.
Yeah. So, any last minute things?
One last thing they did mention that all the students did get like psych exams to see if they were any like serious emotional trauma, because what's important is that the students have a future. So nobody came away traumatized from the experience, thankfully. So
debatable, but sure.
Well, I think the question is whether or not, like, say, like, Bakugo obviously isn't going to get a psych exam, being captured, and I don't know if Deku was even there long enough for it, so.
I mean, what the fuck is his name? The other toe one. The bird guy.
Tokiyami?
Thank you. Good God. I was thinking Toyotomi for some reason. That's not a thing in this show. That's fucking Sengoku period. Where the fuck did that come from? Anyway, yeah. He probably has some things to deal with right now.
I get the feeling, though, that he's been dealing with those things his entire life.
Maybe. Anyway, so that's the episode. Bye, everybody.
See you guys next time with episode 48. Do you want to know what the title is?
No.
Okay, I won't tell you, but episode 48.
I know how anime episode titles work, okay?
I
Friggin'
mean, if you saw had seen the title for this one, it would have been pretty big.
friggin' One Piece episode. Portgasti Ace dies. Fucking fuck you. Spoiler titles. Or
I would
Ultra Instinct revealed, or all that bollocks.
just calling this episode All for One on its own is a bit of a big spoiler, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Point made.
see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.